Now, French President Francois Hollande has called for vigilance and unity in the wake of deadly terror attacks that have sent shockwaves across his country.
But France, even though it did face this challenge, even if it's aware it has within it the men and women of the security forces, a body able of courage and bravery, France is not finished with being a target of threats. Therefore, I want to urge you to be vigilant, to be united, and to be mobilized.
The president made the remarks during a televised address from the Elysee. He blamed the attacks on, quote, fanatics who have nothing to do with Islam. Hollande has also urged his countrymen to attend a planned rally on Sunday to condemn the attacks. A number of European leaders, including German Chancellor Angela Merkel and British Prime Minister David Cameron, are also set to attend the demonstration. Meanwhile, U.S. President Barack Obama has described the attacks as a tragedy. And an intense search operation is still underway in France to hunt down a female suspect believed to be involved in the deadly hostage-taking drama at a supermarket in Paris. The 26-year-old woman has been identified as Hayat Boumediene. She's said to be the wife of Amadi Koulibaly. Now, Koulibaly was the male gunman who was killed after anti-terror units stormed the grocery store at the Porte de Vincennes. Authorities say the two are accused of killing 4 hostages at the supermarket. Koulibaly and Boumediene are also said to be responsible for the fatal shooting of a policewoman in southern Paris on Thursday. The male attacker is believed to have had links with the 2 terrorists behind the deaths of over a dozen people in an attack on the headquarters of Charlie Hebdo magazine on Wednesday.
France's 3 days of terror have come to a violent end with the death of at least 17 innocent people and all 3 terrorists. The Kouachi brothers are thought to have targeted satirical weekly Charlie Hebdo for its repeated cartoons insulting Prophet Muhammad. They both recently returned from Syria, where France has been sending weapons and support to anti-Assad militants for years. As many tried to warn France, some of these militants have returned home and caused innocent deaths. Will the French public now push President Francois Hollande to change his often belligerent foreign policy and turn towards diplomacy?
These attackers are not at all linked with the France's foreign policy, and I don't think we can explain what happened here by some sort of Muslim versus the West analogy.
Muslims may wholeheartedly agree that religion should play no role at all in discussing the Paris terror attacks because taking hostages and killing innocents has absolutely nothing to do with Islam. But some do believe that France has nearly 20 foreign military operations in place, not because of some sort of anti-religious fanaticism, but simply for France's own economic and political power. Many do see a political component in the attacks, which Western media may be blind to, perhaps because it goes far beyond just the freedom of expression.
I don't think France's foreign policy will change, but I think these attacks are a clear result of our foreign wars, especially in places like Syria and Iraq. These attacks show that the violence is growing on both sides, and this is one of the consequences of France's foreign wars.
With a wave of anti-Muslim laws in recent years, the French government has seen a rise in Islamophobia at home in a very real sort of domestic militarism. The awful attacks on French soil may remind the government just how necessary a peaceful home truly is.
I hope France's foreign policy will become more peaceful. Things are so confusing right now, but we are worried there could be a rise of hatred and racism.
I think the government has to change their policies because there is a lot of racism in France. They too easily confuse the terrorists with the Muslim.
When a tragedy of this scale occurs, there probably are no answers which can fully explain such unnecessary destruction. France is left with only questions and the hope that perhaps this can never happen again. Robin Mazaheri, Press TV, Paris.